For over a decade now, we've all played and watched a simplistic game transform into one of the most eccentric and well-played video games of our time. With over 200 million units sold. That's 200 million. That means if one was brought every second, it would take 6 years and 4 months-ish to reach 200 million. Now if you're like me and you've been playing Minecraft for years, like before it was cool and Pewdiepie started playing it, then you'll understand just how long and crazy of a journey it's been. So we're going to be talking about the history of Minecraft and the roadblocks they've hit along the way. No pun intended. Oh, and while you're here already, if you like lore, stories and theories from your favourite films and games, then consider subscribing. It's free. That being said, this should be fun, so let's get into the video. It all started with this guy, Markus Persson, aka Notch. In May 2009, Notch felt like he had nothing better to do with his time than to create a sandbox game, with a blocky interface and some odd-looking characters, all living in a world shaped like a rectangular block suspended above an unending void, which was always fun to forget about in creative mode when you're digging down and then you fall into the void, never to be seen again. The game was released as an early access game before it was fully released. In the pre-classic version of Minecraft, the game was actually called Cave Game. And the reason for that is probably because your time playing the game was predicated on you building an underground base. Also because Notch had other things to do with his time than to come up with a great name. Yet. This version of the game was quite simple, obviously. It didn't really have any of the cool stuff you have nowadays. Back then it only had 3 building blocks, which were dirt, stone and planks, which you could destroy to build stuff with. And if you got lonely, you could clone yourself by pressing G, and then there'd be like lots of Steves everywhere. The next version of the game was called Classic, and it was during the Classic version that the game was officially called Minecraft. It saw the addition of water, trees, clouds and of course lava. And lava and water in this was really weird because they acted a bit differently. They flowed infinitely, so if you cleared a pathway out, it would just flood the area. And if water came into contact with lava, well, lava would disappear and water would reign supreme. See what I did there? Water, rain? Yeah? No? Okay. It was a simpler time where you could be a humble creator and engage in the endemic naturalistic feel of the game. This is where they included creative mode. And creative mode is fun and all, but it does get really boring when you're always playing with yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm not editing that one.
Thankfully, Notch understood this, and this is where he added the multiplayer feature as well. The multiplayer feature was okay, but everybody looked the same. Just plain old Steve with a strange way of walking. No one could really tell who people were, so Notch decided to add customizable skins to the game so you could change Steve to better represent you. Particularly if you're male or female. Except most of the in-game girls were just real-life guys trying to get free stuff. Then the focus shifted from creative mode to survival mode as the mobs were added, to which most of them simply wanted to kill you. There were zombies, spiders, skeletons, and yeah, more zombies. You could use TNT blocks to defend yourself, and you could also kill pigs in order to recover your health. Because you know, nothing screams survival like bacon. The pigs sometimes dropped mushrooms, and if they were struck by lightning, could turn into a creeper. Along with sheep, there were many other blocks added to the game as well, like obsidian, gravel, iron, and gold. So many that you had to actually choose which you were going to use in an in-game menu. This is the time that Minecraft really started to take shape, as at the time we only had creative mode and we could build complex things without stress. However, sadly, that was taken away from us in the next version of the game. In December 2009, the in-dev phase of Minecraft was launched. In-dev is short for in development. It was at this point survival mode was fully operational and, well, since players didn't have the choice, they started to take an interest in it. In-dev was also the first paid version of Minecraft. It also saw the semblance of NPCs, including Black Steve, Rana, and for some reason Beast Boy from Teen Titans. A few days later, paintings were included and all those new characters were removed. It was the in-dev phase that Minecraft's gameplay really started to be realised, and this is when the idea of weapons and tools were utilised for survival. It was also where you could gather and prepare food, craft and smelt things, and where you had to be wary of the time of day. In-dev was pretty good, but there were some problems, including, but not limited to, the limited terrain. But don't worry, because next came infdev, or infdev, which is short for infinite development or in further development. To which infdev actually fixed the terrain problem, and Notch decided to have the terrain infinite. Well, kind of. Where the landscape around you was procedurally generated until you hit the farlands. Or the world border, but because there is one, but without teleporting there, it's almost impossible to reach. And that's because the land in Minecraft is actually 10 times the size of Earth. infdev also got us things like pyramids, 3D clouds, dungeons, doors, ladders and signs. It also allowed us to get saddles so that we could ride animals. And there were also lots of craftable items added, like minecarts and golden apples, because, as Mr. Beast has taught us anything, like steaks and cookies, they always taste better when covered in gold. It was around this time that Notch decided to start up events, called Secret Friday, which unsurprisingly he'd add stuff secretly to the game every Friday, and this lasted for about 9 weeks. One of the events were where he'd add monsters hidden inside of blocks of cobblestone. Then came the alpha version of the game, in which you were introduced to biomes, like the snowy biome. The Nether was also included in this as well, which was basically a representation of Hell, which included mobs and building blocks that you just couldn't get in the overworld. New soundtracks were added along with boats so that you could deal with the idea of going to Hell by taking a leisurely sail out there, listening to some calming music. This was the point when Notch decided to work full-time on Minecraft and created his company, Mojang. There were a plethora of updates, lots of blocks were added, water and lava were no longer infinite, but at least you could fetch some with buckets. The game started to look really expansive, with lots of places to go and loads of things to do. So now the game was ready for the next stage of development. Beta was the 6th and final stage of the development of Minecraft. It saw a lot of updates and it basically started the 1.0 version of Minecraft. First off, we got a new Minecraft logo and launcher, and then we started to see achievements and statistics show up. Notch also brought back creative mode, which was much more comprehensive then than it was back in the classic version. There was a diverse life of trees and shrubs, and weather effects like rain and snow were no longer a mystery to Steve. And this is where some of the non-natural in-game generated structures were added, such as strongholds, mine shafts, and villages, which came with villagers that you could trade your gems with, or simply raid them if you're not too worried about morals. New mobs like Endermen, Silverfish, and cave spiders were added, along with wolves that you could tame with the bones of the skeletons you've killed. Then came the blocks that helped you make music, which for some reason people spend hours to create a song that already exists. And it was at that point that Minecraft actually got a mobile version so you could play Minecraft wherever you wanted. The beta version 1.8 was one of the best updates ever. They added in new biomes, more mobs, new NPCs, and even a chest opening animation. Because we all live for the little things. This version of the game actually brought in everyone's favourite boss, the Ender Dragon, or everyone's hated boss if you've never actually completed it before. I hate that dragon. Now I can't tell you just how exciting it is to find the Ender Dragon waiting for you at the end of your survival game and doing an epic battle with it to the death, because I haven't done it yet. But it is exciting watching the people on YouTube who have finally reached and completed that stage. Soon after, fortresses were made available because, well, why not? Any extra challenge is good. You could also make animals breed and then murder their offspring to help you make an easier life for yourself in Minecraft. Or if you just can't bring yourself to kill them, then you could always make a machine do it for you. In 2014, Notch became a billionaire after Microsoft purchased Minecraft for $2.5 billion. And for a game that was already expansive and you could pretty much do whatever you wanted, Microsoft still found a way to expand the game further to earn more of your money. In 2016, Minecraft started getting used as the basis of learning in some schools. When I was back in school, they were still trying to figure out what a computer was. Quite a while ago, Pewdiepie found Minecraft and that generated a lot of buzz. Ever since then, he's kind of been the face of making live streams of Minecraft. Though the last title of his video on Minecraft makes me question if he's going to continue. Now there's even talks of a Minecraft movie coming out in 2022. I wasn't really asking for it, but it's good to know it's coming out. Minecraft has matured over the years with intricate maps and biomes, amazing NPCs and an interface you just can't find in other games. But a lot of us still remember when it was just Steve, running around building rectangular bases, trying hard not to fall into the void. And many of us at the time didn't realise that we were playing what most consider to be nowadays the greatest game of all times. Well, that's the succinct history of Minecraft. I hope you all enjoyed the trip down memory lane. And if you did, then why not subscribe and like this video and share it with a few people, you know? Also, thank you for watching, and a special thank you to Berryman for editing this video, and a previous one for me. I hope you enjoyed this. Did you enjoy editing this video, Berryman? Yeah? No one cares. Thanks for watching. See you with the next video. Sorry.